Hello, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm telling I'm having like a little story time for my second track meet. So yeah, but before I get started, please hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and give this video a huge thumbs up to become part of my wonderful, amazing YouTube family. And yeah, on to the video. So we get there, and excuse me, sinus drainage. We get there and they're charging admission, but only for like my parents, I think, and the oldest, except for me, obviously. But he did think I was not like participating in the race because I had like this I had a huge hoodie on because it was kind of chilly. But I wasn't. And they were like, "Oh no, she's running," and he's like, "Oh." So we only had to pay for like my mom, my dad, Andrew, and Jackson, I think. Anyway, so we go in, and there's all these tents, and I'm looking for the team, and I'm looking for them. I cannot find them. I cannot find them at all. And so we're just looking around, and then I see a tent by the stairs of the bleachers, like just the top of it, and I'm like, oh, I think that might be them. So I walk over, and I'm like, yeah, this is it. And then my parents turn around and go back to the bleachers, where the viewers were sitting, and I go up, and I set my stuff down. I find my time, or not my time. I find my heat. I find my lane, or what I thought my lane was gonna be for the 200, and then I found my heat, and then I found my lane for the 100 meter. And I write them in Sharpie on my hand. And then I just go over, and I think I was cheering. Like, coach was like, "You got plenty of time. We got 30 minutes till you have to warm up. It's gonna be okay. Just relax, and just kind of relax." And so I was watching other events, and suddenly coach runs up to us, and she's like, "You need to come with me now. They're lining people up for the 100 meter right now." 30 minutes beforehand, they were very ahead of schedule. They wanted to get that meet done with. So no warm up, no like stretching at all, nothing. And we're heading over there and like just trying to stretch, trying to do anything that we can to get our body ready for this race. And so then we're lined up. Not really. We're all just in a blob, and he's calling names. And they're running the no, not the miler. Was it the mile? No. It was the 8. No. Was the 4 by? I don't know. It was an event. And so they were lining up way too early. And then finally they start the 100, and then I believe I was in heat 8, right? Was it heat 7? I don't know. One of those two. And so the people before us go, and then he calls Sarah Fleischman. Or no, not my name. Fleischman Homeschool. So I was the only homeschool in that heat. And yeah. And so then we get on the line. I'm in my position. I'm ready to go. And then we go. I can't remember if the gun didn't shoot the first time. I think it didn't. I think he was ready, and then like it didn't shoot. So then he had to reload it and everything, and then we went. I think that's how it went. I don't know. It's been like a month. So we go, and I could tell I was not ready for that. I got like 3rd in that heat, but I was not ready for that. But anyway, so then I'm done, and then I'm just on the field waiting, and he's like, "Okay, everybody on the field needs to get off. You need to get off." And so we go back to the tent and watch the other people run. The 100s went on for like an hour. They were doing 100 meter hurdles on the other side of the track. And so then all these events go on. And when they start the 400, I am about the game Go Fish, because at the last meet we had watched or no, not watched. we played a game. I forget what it was called, but it was really fun. Um, so we played that for like an hour, and they're still running the 400s. They ran 400s for like 2 hours. And then the 400-meter hurdles, which was really interesting to watch. I was not a part of those. But it was really fun to watch. And after 7 hours, we start warming up. And West Virginia and I were the only ones that wanted to warm up. So we did like a 3-minute warm up, and then we came back and stretched, just to kind of prepare our body. And so then we went over there too early. But I'm so glad we went over there too early, because this like 5-second event. Okay, so they start the 800, right? And we have some runners in the 800. And this boy, hang on, let me go get my glasses. I'll be right back. Okay, so these are crooked, but who cares? So he was wearing sunglasses. Like, oh, I haven't worn these in a while. He was wearing sunglasses. And literally, like, I don't know, 20 meters away from the finish line, he looks at us, and instead of sprinting, you know what he does? He goes, we're all screaming for him to sprint. Like, I cannot do it the way he did it. He was like, it was so funny how he did it. It was hilarious. And then we found out that the 200-meter people were supposed to be on the other side so they could line you up. So we headed over there, and they were like, middle school girls, all of y'all come over here, get out of the lane they're running in, because they were still running at the moment. And we start lining up, and Kathleen's not there. And we're like, where is she, where is she, where is she? We're screaming across, because, like, everybody else is screaming, so we were having to yell, where's Kathleen? And her sister's like, I don't know. And all the high schoolers are like, I don't know. And so then we found her. And so she got in her lane, and then he called Sarah. I cannot even properly pronounce how he mispronounced my name, but it was something like Fleischhammer or something like that. But it was, I did not laugh, but it was hilarious how he mispronounced my name so bad. Fleischhammer is the only way that I can actually, like, kind of give you a view of how he pronounced my last name. It was so much worse than Fleischhammer. He's like, Fleischhammer homeschool, and I'm like, okay, that's me. And he's like, alright, lane 5, and I'm like, oh. So I'm like, oh, okay, I was told lane 1, but great. So then we're just sitting in our lanes waiting to run, and I'm talking to this girl beside me, the sweetest, amazing. We're just talking about how when we got home, we're just gonna, like, collapse. I was like, well, I need to edit videos, but yeah. And we were just talking, and she's really nice, really sweet. I imagine like a private Christian school, because she was Christian. We were talking about how we were gonna go to church in the next morning, which, I mean, Christians go to public school too, but generally when I encounter public schoolers in a race, they're not as nice to me as she was. But I'm not saying that everyone is that way. I'm not saying that. I know there are plenty of nice public schoolers out there, but generally if I meet a nice person at a meet, it is going to be a private Christian school or homeschool. I don't get a lot of nice encounters with public schoolers. Sorry. I know there are plenty of nice public schoolers out there. I have plenty of public school friends that are really nice. But I'm just saying, most of the time in a race, when I do encounter these other people and I'm going to be racing against, they are not normally nice. Anyway, so then we run the 200, and I start off. Oh, I did awful on this, but I start off 4th in the group. So I'm trying to beat the girl that I was talking with, and I'm like this far away from her, which is quite a lot in a 100. And I'm just trying, sorry, no, 200. And I'm trying to get to her. And then I see them stopping. And, like, they're at the line. And in my head, I go, stop. And I'm at the blue line, which is, like, 10 meters away from the finish line. And I start walking. And everyone is screaming, run. And, and it, like, happened too quickly to process through my head that I had stopped running. Like, my brain was just like, all right, stop. And, like, I kind of felt like I had no control over the situation. Does that make sense? Because, like, I didn't know I'd stopped until I look over and the girl that was behind me, a good, like, 20, 30 meters behind me, passed me at the finish line. Like, all right, it was her. This is how it, like, you can see, this is her foot, this is my foot. Like, you can tell she hit first. So, my time was awful in that one. Then we went home. So, that was that race. And now I have one more story time. So, make sure to tune in so you can hear about that one. This is the most recent one, and that I remember more from this one. So, until I see you again, goodbye!